Today we're going to go see the new
Star Wars film!
King Arthur film.
Oh, right, yes, sorry.
Directed by Guy Ritchie, starring people such as Jude Law and David Beckham.
Yeah, he's only got a small bit in it. And the lead character's name is Charlie Hunnam? Anyway, apparently Biker Grove in Sons of Anarchy or something like that. I don't really know this guy. So the story is King Arthur doesn't know he's the king. Jude Law's a bad guy. That's what we know so far. And it's supposed to be a little bit of a twist in this story. Not the story that you know about King Arthur.
Which has been done 100 times.
Loads of times. It is Game of Thrones meets Lock, Stock meets, I would say, Lord of the Rings. Because some of the trailers I've seen, it's got quite big fight sequences in it.
Yeah, meets Sherlock Holmes. The one with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. I don't know how I feel about this. I think there's a chance that this could be really, really, really bad.
Okay, I'm going to go the opposite way. I think this might be really, really, really good.
It's a Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah,
so
I've only been disappointed in maybe one Guy Ritchie film. But the Lock, Stock, Snatch, all the Sherlock Holmes films have been really, really good.
They were amazing.
I did miss out on Man from U.N.C.L.E. though, but you've seen that.
That is a fantastic film.
Yeah, so if we're headed down that route, I'm thinking it's going to be quite good. And from the trailer, he's kind of, like I said, he's thrown that Lock, Stock feel in it. He's made it quite modern in the way they speak. It's got that Game of Thrones feel when it comes down to the certain violence. And then the big epic battle scenes, I think Lord of the Rings style. There is actually a true story that he took from one of his gangster friends who was brought up in a brothel, and he's kind of introduced this into the King Arthur film. Just wanted to mention that. Right, so we're going to go and watch... That's not lightsaber.
No, you've got to pull it out.
Oh, okay.
So it's in a stone.
So we're going to go and watch...
No, this is a stone.
Yeah.
Alright, now imagine there's a sword.
That's the sword. It's a rabbit.
Excalibur.
Merlin.
And we'll see what we think of this film.
Why is the water dropped? Why does the sword reveal itself now?
As your power increases, so too do the forces that will oppose you. The born king will come. It is inevitable.
You felt it. The power.
I've never had any power or any desire to achieve it.
We've just got back from watching King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. It was alright. You can stop that now.
Okay. First 20 minutes were very good. Breaks down the story of King Arthur's father.
Think Lion King.
Yeah, think
kind
Lion.
of
Yeah, exactly. Think Lion King. So that's the story that you've got there of the brothers, the nephew, and then think of Lord of the Rings at the beginning.
Yeah.
Elephant, Lord of the Rings. Think of that. Then I think a little bit of X-Men is involved here.
What?
And I'll tell you what, there's a bit where the flames are coming out and the guy's lying there like that. And then you got, you got the king and you got this guy. So it's like Iceman versus the guy with the fire. If you, that's the X-Men bit for me. Anyway, that's what I'm going to say. Fast forward, it kind of breaks down into Arthur's life now after his uncle's taken over the throne. And what I liked about that bit was there was no messing around. It was, here's Arthur as a 10-year-old, 15-year-old, 20-year-old, and whatever he is now.
And the way that Guy Ritchie tells stories, the cinematography, how he manages to chop it up, and it works really well. Like, he killed it. He you know, all of the great things you liked about Sherlock and some of his other films, that same style is there, and so it means that you get to learn a lot about King Arthur really, really quickly, and in a stylistic way, it works.
Yeah. After that bit, for me, the film just starts falling apart. We end up going all over the shop. Jude Law as the king, brilliant.
Yeah.
Really, really sinister. Really, really sort of, his evil thoughts about keeping hold of the crown are fantastic. Then there's a cameo from David Beckham.
All right, where do you want me?
Bouncing on my knee. Where do you think I want you? Hands on the hilt, stupid.
The worst actor. I'm sorry. I mean, David Beckham is a
My
lovely
name's
guy.
David Beckham.
He
That's
was-
the sword. Go pull it out.
He had to play this like quite aggressive, macho, scarred,
Soldier.
angry soldier,
Yeah.
and the way it came across was so bad. He had like 3 lines, and he managed to mess them up.
There's a lot of ropey acting in this film, not just from Beckham, but from the main characters as well. I found that the lead character, King Arthur, Charlie Hunnam, really, I struggled to believe that he was actually a good Arthur. I really struggled.
I thought it was good.
In the first 20 minutes, yeah, because he was a bit of a Jack the Lad, all right, mate, that type of character. And then you can't really see him turning into a king, where in certain films, like Lord of the Rings,
you sort of see the evolution.
the development. Here, you're just thinking, oh, do you know what? I've just gave up. I really just gave up.
To be fair, he did come across as a kind of
Jack the Lad.
the kind of king, that you more like a Cray twin than a king.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. I thought he was alright. I thought Jude Law was okay. For me, it was a poor man's Game of Thrones. So if you think about Game of Thrones and the grittiness, the goriness, the
realism,
even the costumes in Game of Thrones feel real. The colours aren't too bright; they're slightly dulled. Whereas multiple times in this, whether it was the CGI or whether it was the costumes, whatever, it felt like a set. It felt like this.
No, I have to disagree with you. I actually liked some of the cinematography in this. I thought.
Oh no, cinematography,
The filming was really, really good. I thought I did like the fact they used they were out of the studio. It didn't feel too CGI. There were certain moments where you see Arthur fighting with a sword.
It's a lot of the fight scenes.
Yeah, that felt really, really like a computer game.
It felt like a beat 'em up.
Yeah. The film would just not end. I was saying, please let this be the end now. No, we've got another little bit to go. Please let this be the end. No, we've got another little bit to go. And it got to a point where I think I made an excuse to go out and answer my phone.
Yeah.
And I still came back and the film was not finished. And so, for me, if I was going to score this film out of 5, I'm only going to give it a 2. Sorry, Guy. Sorry, Jude, but you're only getting a 2 from me, mate.
For me, if I'm being honest, and I think this is quite rare, I'm also going to give it a 2.
Boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, boom. We actually agree on something.
We're giving it the exact amount.
That's the first time
rare.
ever, I think, that's happened on here.
It's not a terrible film. It's like a good sort of chilled out watch.
I tell you when it's a good time to watch that film. Right, when it's raining outside, you've got nothing to do with your day, and you're thinking, do you know what? I just want to
chuck something on.
Just chuck something on, but I'm not going to pay 100% attention to it. I can drift off, maybe look at my phone, see what's happening on YouTube, whatever, Instagram, then come back to it, and it'll still be the same story because nothing's really moved on.
Yeah.
As in the story is flat.
Yeah.
That's it. Happy with that?
Yeah.
All right, that's it then. Bye, kids.
Behold, your born king!